Here we can see that I've finally got my bullets together and some cases for my Shehane. I'm only going to do this caliber, so everything in the video will be in preparation for the rifle. I've had 2,000 burger bullets. I've only got 300 out here, and I've got 200 6.5 by 284 Lapua cases. All I'm going to show you here is with a bit of preparation and with the use of tools like I've got a Wilson trimmer, a Sinclair concentricity gauge, a decent set of digital calipers, some K&M products for inside neck ream and dechamfering. I'll show you in the next few minutes preparation of actually getting everything ready before you start actually reloading. Just a quick word now on my cases. What I'll do is I've got 200 here, 100 in each box, and they are the same lot number. Same with the bullets. I bought 2,000 with all the same lot number as I've explained, he's explained before, and so they're all consistent. They aren't all consistent with each other at the moment. They'll be weight sorted and sorted by bearing length, and the cases will be sorted by volumetric and also weight after the case preparation has been done to them. But at the moment, to help me get tighter tolerances, I've bought, as I say, 2,000 of the Burger 180s with all the same lot number and 200 Lapua cases. Out of the 200 Lapua cases, I'm hoping to get maybe 90 decent match quality cases. The others will be used for practice, fireform and backup. So basically what I will do now is I'll open up a case of these and we'll show you what will need to be done in preparation, and then I'll go through the steps with you. Right, the first process in the way I do it, not everybody will do it the same process, but we'll all do the same methods but in different orders, but this is the way I do it. The first order is for me to get the basic cases. Now these are brand new, untouched by human hands, brass straight from Lapua. Now Lapua brass is some of the best, and it is some of the most consistent out of the factory, out of the box. And for hunting, these are probably good enough to go now. They just need neck sizing for your round, and loading, priming, powder putting in, bullet in, away you go. But to increase your performance of them and to aid the accuracy potential, there's a few things you can do to them. First of all, they're all the same length, argument's sake, but if you measure two together, you'll get about 3 thou or 4 thou difference in length. So what the first thing we'll do is I'll pull out 20 and take an average, or the lowest. I'll measure for using my my digital calipers, which is handy. The battery hasn't gone. I will measure each one thus and get an overall measurement of 20. And then what I'll do is, what I'm trying to find out is the shortest one in there. So what I will do, using a Wilson trimmer, in this case you can get Lyman or RCBS, or there's other trimmers available, I will cut them all back by the few thou to the shortest one, so at least all the brass will be the same length. So that's what I'll do now, and I'll go through and measure them and look for the smallest one. First of all, you need to zero everything. They should be about 2.1 something, 2.160. So I mean they're fairly consistent. I'm looking through experience with these rounds of about 2.159 being about the smallest, but I'm only going to pull 20 out and just go through them quickly. Dig deep in the bottom. They've all been stirred up, so I mean there's 1.5 thou over you. It's hardly anything, but if you're going to go through all the process squaring up the primer pockets and everything, you will, get them all as good as you can. So that's 2 thou over, so that needs trimming back anyway. So 2.160 inches is thou, and there's another one, a thou. Yeah, 2159, and there knew there'd be one in there somewhere. So, because I used this brass before in other calibers, I know that it's not very often you're going to get one short on that, but I will go through them. But I know roughly that'll come back to that sort of figure. So what I'll do now is I'll carry on, and you'll join us again when I'm about to trim them, and I'll show you me trimming them. Okay, you join us again. Now I've got the trimmer out. I'll basically explain what it is. What it is a Wilson trimmer. They've got a micrometer on the length here to show depth, and on the right here you've got the actual cutter, which will come in and out. It's a carbide cutter, and what they call a shark fin on top, which will hold the case, the actual holder down for the shell. So let me just make sure you can see that all in the camera fine, which you can. What happens is, shell goes in like that, you push it back up to the stop here, and then you bring the shark fin over, and that will keep the shell holder and the case inside in line. So when you trim it, you cut the face to a nice square cut. That's what we're after before other parts of the case are worked on. But for now, as I said before, my main measurement was 2.159. So I'll now adjust this. This is a 2.159 case in there. So what I'll do is I'll push that right up there, and I'll slowly bring it in till it's just kissing it. I don't want to trim it back anymore because they'll be all under. Right, that's no damn it. I'm happy with that. So that's my standard. All right. So what I'll do now is I'll get one that's, where are we? I'll find a long one so you can see actually happening. See, that's 2.161 and a half thou. Right, so that goes in the trimmer. Make sure it's tight up against here because you'll cut it short if not. And give it a couple of turns. There won't be masses coming off, obviously, but it's literally all it takes. Give it a bang and then measure it. It should be 2.159. If it's slightly longer, I'll adjust it down, and then once it's there, I'll leave it until all 100 were done. In fact, until all 200 are done. So we brought that down a thou so far. So it need to go in just a touch. Back in. You're literally taking off nothing, but as I say, it's all part of the process. That one's got longer. So there's something wrong with the zero there, no? There we go. 2.159 and a half. I mean, I'll give that just a slight nudge. I'll take that final. Not very consistent in. Let's put that back in and give that another. Now it's not cutting nothing, so it should be. Check my zero. Still want to touch more. You've got to be cautious about going under because obviously you can't make them any longer. I think I might have gone about right now. Physically cut something off then. So I'll back that out. That's a little bit too short, so I'll just back that out. That's about 4 thou under. So I'll just put that to one side. 2.161. It's trial and error, this thing. I mean, these ones that get too short, I'll use them for blowing in rounds, and I mean, after you've fired them a couple of times, they'll stretch anyway, so they'll need to trim them back, so they'll come back into the fold. There you go. That's 2160. That's as near as damn it now. I shall leave it there now. I should just clean it up lovely. I say a thou is not. That's 2158. So just split the difference. Right. So what I'll do now is I'll work my way through and trim. And I'll take some pictures of them close-up trimming. Yep, that's alright. Just finding that. That's a better one. There we go, 2159. Now I'll leave that. You can mess about then. You can lock them off, and I'll do all 200 now. And get them all, so they'll all be cut the same length, complete overall length. Right. What we've got here is just 5. I'm going to show you how to do this with this. The lapia brass that we've been working with, and they've been all trimmed to length. So far, that's the only thing that's been done in the process with them. What I'll now do is using in this case, a K&M. Let's see if you can see that. There you go. See if you can see that there. It's a primer pocket uniforming tool, and what it does, here you can see a cutter. It slides inside the primer pocket like that. You give it a turn, a couple of turns, as on a preset distance there, and what it does, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, I'll take some pictures in a minute, but it'll turn in the primer pocket. If you can imagine, that's like a shape of a bowl. So when you push your primer in, that'll push down to the sides, but it'll never hit the bottom of the actual flat bit, and that's where you want the primer, hard up against the primer pocket. So what this does, it'll cut the shoulders inside the actual corner, so you can see it just glinting there, and also it'll cut them sharp so you can push the primer straight down onto it and get a good flush fitting against the actual face, and that'll also take any ridges or any slight burrs out of the flasher where it's come through. In time, what we'll do is we'll reverse the cartridge over and we'll actually work on the flash hole from the inside, but I'll show you that in a minute. So what I'll do now is I'll show you 5, and then that's another part of the process. I mean, you aren't looking to take out loads, but as I say, I'll take some close-ups. It's a nice easy little job this, but it's surprising how much it adds to accuracy and consistency. See, that one has been, we've just done that here on camera. You can just see where it's been chamfered. It's dull bits. The shiny bits just inside the pocket are where we've cut, and the dull bits are like the lows. You're evening off the highs and lows on the actual bottom, and in the shoulder you're squaring them out so you can get your primer, when you prime them, sitting further down and flush against the face. See there? You can see it in the light. That's none undone, so that's all dull inside. Give it a couple of turns, and you can just see some shiny bits. If you can get that on camera, just some shiny bits on just outside the hole where it burred over on the flash hole. So you're taking that burns off, and also you can see it shiny around the edges. That's where you cleaned out that slight cupping effect in the actual corner of the pocket. Right, so there's one to do. And the same there, you can see, if I can get it, you can just see where the shiny bit is around the flash hole, where it's deburred, and the shiny bit around the actual shoulder. Okay, so we'll keep with them 5 for now. Right, we've done the primer pocket, so when we seat the primer in there, that'll sit nice and flush against the back of the case, and that'll be better for ignition. Now on the inside, if you can see that, you've got your primer pocket hole, where you, when the primer is dented and the ignition has started, there's a flame come through there to obviously ignite your powder. How these are formed, when they're on the manufacturing, they're going along, and then them holes are punched. And if you can imagine punching through, like a shot through paper, you'll also on the far side of the paper, you'll have a ragged hole. So what I'm trying to say is that'll be where they're pressed, because they press them from that way, punch them down. On the inside, all the hole will be burred. So what we'll do now is using a flash hole deburrer. This one is made by K&M. If I can get the red thing off. So you can see there's a little drill bit, and what that'll do, that'll slips inside the case like so, and here we've got an adjustable stop which I'll set up in a minute, just so we don't cut too far in. And what it does is it goes down and it actually floats in the hole from the other inside, and that'll just chamfer the inside of the flash hole, taking the burring off and also giving it a nice chamfer, so when the flame comes through it's got a nice round consistent hole, and no burrs to get in the way or give false flames. Or so we'll now crack on and do them. So right, let's put it in. That floats in there. Find the flash hole. There we go. Couple of spins. That's all it takes. See a little bit of brass come out. It's not the easiest to show, but that is now deburred. Yeah, you can just see a shiny bit inside where it's been cut. Okay. As I say, I'll get these all on, do some stills of these, so you can see what I mean. That's all it takes. You can see a little bit of brass come out. You're not looking to remove loads. There you go. Okay. Put them there. There, they're done. It's in the primer pocket. That's chattering a bit, so just put the depth gauge there. It's a lot easier to hold. You're actually forcing the case onto the cutter. How they're designed, they'll stop cutting up when the desired that angle is, the depth is controlled by this collar, and that's, you can't overcut them, but you got to make sure you give them enough. You'll know when, after you've done one or two, you'll actually know when they stop cutting. You can feel them just running around on the inside. It's a 2-minute little job, but that actually increases your potentially your shell cases dramatically. It's like free floating your barrel. I mean, that's all positive stuff, isn't it? So right, I'll just next few steps. We've case length. We've trimmed the brass to length, the new virgin brass. We've reamed out the primer pocket holes, and we've deburred the flash holes inside. You can just see that one in there. Can you just see that in there? You can just, with the lighting, you can just see where it's been reamed. Okay, now these cases are now ready to be neck turned, which I'll show you in a minute, and sized for the chamber, and then as far as they go, they're good to go then. Okay, you just explain. People have asked me what these dark marks are on here. Brass, when you start pulling a boat and that, it gets very brittle, or case hardened as they call it. And what this has done, if you can see on this side, it's all brown up here. This, where the shoulder has been formed in the presses and that on the machines, this gets very brittle, and brass, once they get brittle, will split. So what they've done here is they've annealed this bit here from about here back this way, and what that does is re-softens the brass up. In future I'll show you how to do this, because once brass has been fired 3 or 4 times and resized several times, that'll get hardened again, it goes brittle. So what you do is you anneal it, and that softens the brass up. You only do it from about there, that way, because you don't want to soften this stuff up here. You want to keep that as integrity as possible, because when you're neck sizing, you only size in the neck here. If you're body sizing, you just bump the shoulder back a little bit. You don't often size down the bottom there unless you're having real problems, but usually by then the brass is US and you just sling it, buy some more. I mean, it's not cheap, but what price your safety? So that's it. They're now ready, as I say, ready to go for neck turning. Because I'm shooting a 7mm case, these will first need to be expanded as a 6.5 at the moment, so I'll put them on a K&M expander, which I'll show you, and push them out to 7mm. Then we'll do some more process on the neck and get the neck turned down for concentricity. That's where all the potential has come back into. So as far as we're concerned, everything this end of the case is done.